In the heart of Boston, where city lights glowed like stars trapped between buildings and the Charles River whispered to the wind every night, there lived a young man named Ethan Miles. He was 24 years old, quiet by nature, the kind of person who spoke more through his eyes than his words. Ethan worked at a cozy little coffee shop on Tremont Street, a place where students, writers, and wandering souls came to borrow warmth from freshly brewed coffee and the soft jazz music humming in the background. Ethan had moved to Boston from a small town in Ohio after losing his father to illness. Life had changed for him, suddenly and painfully. His mother remained back home with relatives while he tried to find new meaning in this bustling city. The coffee shop was his world now, and it was enough. Or at least, it was enough. Until she arrived. Her name was Ava Carter. She walked in one rainy Tuesday morning with a red umbrella dripping water on the shop floor, her cheeks pink from the cold. Her eyes held that mix of curiosity and softness you only see in people who still believe life is capable of beautiful surprises. She ordered a vanilla latte and smiled at Ethan in a way that melted the distance between strangers. "Thank you," she had said, voice gentle like a violin string. And for Ethan, everything changed. He didn't fall in love instantly, not the wild kind at least. His was the quiet kind of love, the type that grows slowly, softly, and deeply, like ivy climbing old brick walls, steady and unstoppable. Ava started coming every morning. Same drink, same smile, same table by the window. She was a grad student at Boston University studying literature. She spent hours reading books, highlighting sentences like she was searching for pieces of herself inside them. Ethan noticed everything. The way she twisted her hair when she was focused. The way her lips formed a small pout when a passage confused her. The way she closed her eyes and breathed deeply before writing something meaningful. He watched her like someone watches a sunrise, quietly, respectfully, lovingly. But love, his kind of love, was silent. He never spoke more than a few words to her. "Good morning. Here's your latte. Have a good day." Yet his heart spoke novels. One day, the shop was busier than usual. Boston winter was hitting hard and people were craving warmth. Ethan was preparing drinks quickly when he heard Ava's voice. But this time, she wasn't smiling. She was crying. She stood by the corner near the pastry shelf, her phone pressed to her ear, tears slipping down her cheeks. Ethan's chest tightened. He couldn't hear much, but one sentence echoed clearly. "I just don't know if I love you anymore." Her voice cracked. Ethan's hands trembled slightly. But he kept steady. He wanted to walk to her, hold her, tell her she didn't deserve pain. But he didn't, because pain was personal, and he had no right to enter a heart he had never even knocked on. Ava hung up, wiped her tears, and sat at her usual table. Ethan quietly placed a warm cup of tea in front of her. No charge. She looked up, eyes swollen. "You noticed?" she whispered. Ethan only nodded. No words were needed. Sometimes silence is the most human language. Days passed. Ava healed slowly. She smiled again, but it was different. Softer. Sadder. Real. She and Ethan began speaking more, small conversations turning into longer ones. She told him about poetry. He told her about Ohio. She told him about dreams. He told her about loss. Their connection was the kind that didn't need names, but love, still unspoken. Spring came to Boston, cherry blossoms painting the sidewalks in soft pink. Ava had a habit of collecting fallen petals between book pages. Ethan watched as she preserved seasons inside paper and ink. They started walking together sometimes, just small walks, by the river, near the university, through old stone streets. People saw them and assumed they were in love. Maybe they were. But neither said it, because sometimes love is too sacred to risk losing by naming. Then one evening, everything changed. Ava sat outside the shop, waiting for Ethan to close. The sky was turning orange-purple, and the air smelled like wet pavement after rain. "Ethan," she said softly, "I got accepted into a research program in New York." He froze. "When?" he asked, though his voice already knew the answer. "Next month." The words fell heavy between them, a world ending quietly. "But," she whispered, her voice trembling, "I don't know if I want to go." Ethan felt something break inside him. A door he always kept locked. A silence he always protected. For the first time he wanted to speak, to say, "Stay, stay here, stay with me." But he didn't. He looked at her with the softest expression a person can hold. "You should go," he said. Her heart shattered. "Are you sure?" He nodded, because love, real love, doesn't cage wings. It lets them fly. Ava went to New York, and Ethan stayed in Boston. Months passed. Seasons changed. Leaves burned orange, then faded to snow again. The coffee shop remained the same, but Ethan didn't. He had begun writing, not poetry, not books, just letters. Letters to Ava, hundreds of them, every night, unsent. He poured everything into them, the words he never said, the feelings he never expressed. "You were my quiet place in a loud world. I still look for you in every sunrise. I loved you in silence, but it was the loudest love I ever knew." He kept them all in a wooden box beneath his bed. Years passed. Ava finished her program, became a writer, published novels filled with love that almost happened, love that nearly found words. And Ethan stayed in Boston, still working at the same coffee shop, still watching the seasons change through the same window. He never loved anyone else. Some loves are once in a lifetime. 5 years later, on a foggy autumn morning, the door of the shop opened, and there she was. Ava, her hair a little shorter, her smile a little wiser, her eyes exactly the same. She walked up to the counter slowly. "Hi, Ethan." Time stopped. Ethan's hands froze. His heart remembered everything instantly. "You kept your promise," she whispered. "You stayed." And Ethan finally spoke the words stored inside him for years. "I loved you," quietly. But I never stopped. Her eyes filled. She placed a book on the counter, her latest novel. The dedication page read, "For the barista who taught me that love doesn't need to be spoken to be real." Ethan's voice broke. "You knew?" Ava smiled gently. "I always knew." They didn't kiss. They didn't rush. They just sat together at the same window table, like old days, hands resting close, almost touching. Love finally shared. Not confessed, not claimed, just understood. Sometimes the greatest love stories are not the ones told loudly. They are the silent ones, the ones felt in glances, in shared moments, in unspoken understanding. Love does not need to be shouted to be real. Sometimes, love is simply sitting beside the person your heart never stopped waiting for.